La Ilusion Skins Review and Tierlist. On the start, I want to say something that disappointed me greatly about this entry skin line. The entire La Ilusion skin line is designed in a festival style. Dia de los Muertos isn't a sad holiday, it's a very colorful one where people celebrate. And what's at the core of the celebrations or festivals? Music. Does this skin line have music? Yes, only during recalls. Every skin in this series has boring SFX on their abilities. I know that many people don't pay much attention to SFX, but for me, it's a pretty important aspect, so it's a big letdown. I'm concerned that this is the second skin line in a row with very boring SFX, and I hope this doesn't become a regular thing. Let's move on to rating the skins individually. La Ilusion Renata Glasc. The recall is nicely done, it has okay music, but personally, I prefer recalls that tell a story, recalls like the ones on skins like Fright Night. Recalls where the character flies, spins in a circle, and their only purpose is to look good or spectacular have become overwhelmingly common lately, and for me, they've become dull. The VFX is well done, my favorite is the E ability, a lot is happening here, and it's really satisfying to the eye. As I mentioned, the SFX are very average, and it's a shame because Renata could have had really cool music when she has the W effect on her. The model is nothing extraordinary, it's okay, but is there anything unique and fantastic here? It doesn't seem like it to me. A big plus for the return of Renata's mask because it's an iconic part of the character, and I don't know why it disappeared so quickly. In summary, it's definitely not a better skin than Fright Night, and it lacks something unique, so I'm giving it a B. La Ilusion Renata Glasc Prestige. First of all, the entire color scheme of this skin gave me PTSD because of Cyber Halo Qiyana. Of course, I have nothing against that color scheme, but the model itself looks like a chroma with flowers. Are we going back to Prestige 1.0 skins? The effects are nice, and he still looks the best. C tier, close to D. La Ilusion Draven. Despite Draven having straightforward abilities where you can't show off too much, they came out really well on this skin. The falling axe icon is wonderful, and I love it. The sound on W is a letdown, just like on the ultimate. The model is great, much better than Renata's, with a lot more details and stands out among other Draven skins. The recall is nothing special, but better than Renata's. Solid A tier. Would be S if it weren't for the SFX. La Ilusion Nidalee. And that's a good recall. Unfortunately, there's no music, but there's some storytelling, wonderful VFX, although it really hurts my eyes when the spear disappears. The SFXs are better than Renata's and Draven's, there's still no big wow factor here, but the sound on E is good, just like the sound on Q, which has many variations. The VFXs are much better in the Cougar version than the human one, my favorite is her W, it looks fantastic. When it comes to the model, I have nothing to complain about, the Cougar looks good, and so does the human version. This skin is definitely much better than the recent Nidalee skins. This skin lands in the S tier, more like S-, because the SFX could really be better, but they are better than the other skins in this series, just like the recall. I really appreciate that Nidalee looks good both in her human form and after transforming because some skins for her looked good only in her human form, and some didn't look good at all. La Ilusion Ziggs. I know I'm repeating myself, but it really pains me to see the wasted potential in the SFX. Ziggs could have had such great sounds for his abilities, but we were robbed. However, when it comes to VFX, this is probably the best skin in this series in that regard. The ultimate looks incredible, W is also very interesting, and so is E, you can really see that a lot of work was put into this. The recall is very cool. The model itself looks good, although I'm not sure about that rose on his back, I think the skull could pour with his mask, and the candle might not be the best solution, so I don't know. The rose irritates me somehow. However, it's worth noting another aspect in which Ziggs wins against the other skins in this series. The chromas, they are amazing and very creative. I really want to put this skin in the S tier because of those wonderful VFX, but I can't because the SFXs are terrible, so it lands in a strong A tier. La Ilusion Gnar. This skin has a great recall, it's very cute and I love it. The VFXs aren't anything amazing, but I think they are sufficient. My opinion on his SFXs is the same as with most SFXs from this skin line. You can hear something when he transforms into a monster, but it's definitely too quiet. The model is also cool. The final rating is a weak A. La Ilusion Qiyana. If you're tired of complaining about SFX, scroll to this point. The SFX for La Ilusion Qiyana are such a disappointment that I wanted to cry when I listened to them. Qiyana has always been a character with amazing SFX. Her classic skin has very satisfying sounds, and fantastic SFXs are also found in skins like Battle Boss. True damage. Or Shock Blade. And suddenly a skin comes out where there isn't even background sound when Qiyana is invisible, which she always had. All these SFX are a complete letdown, and I'm petitioning for a complete rework them. Where is the team responsible for SFX? Did they go on vacation? The recall is cool and fits Qiyana. I'm surprised it has background music, but why is it so quiet? Most of the VFX are nicely done, although some could be better. Her model is good, has a nice vibe. I like in Qiyana skins that each one has a completely different hairstyle. Regarding this skin, it's worth mentioning that her splash art is brilliant. Objectively, Qiyana deserves an A tier, and that's where she lands. However, as I mentioned, I pay great attention to SFX, and it pains me how Qiyana and other skins were treated in this skin line. If I were to make this list more subjectively than objectively, I would put her in B. I also want to add that her icon looks awful. What happened here?